Always got to slap the burrito, apparently.
Who's your daddy?
Yeah, that's right. Clap it up.
Don't slap the bowls, though, because then they get a little messy.
All right, so like I said, we kind of just hit on topics and then we just roll with it. You know what I mean?
Usually it goes on way too long, but
yeah, like some things. I don't know if you listened to the episode I sent you. Some things,
did.
yeah, some things like tend to just like we keep talking. So
Yeah.
but,
and then we have like 4 more bulletins that we wanted to talk about,
and we just don't ever get them. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that one, I think it was the third one that you guys
Gymkhana, yeah, the Podcana, yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about
I listened to that one.
the Gymkhana, which we probably aren't going to talk about today,
Right.
because
It's skating.
we're talking about skating today, but yeah. And then if you want to adjust that in any way, like if it's
I think as long as I sound good from like...
no, you sound decent.
Yeah.
This is it.
The tongue. Oh, let me get my drink.
Tip of the tongue, teeth in the lips.
Shut the fuck up out there.
Is that a Civic? It's got to be, right?
Or can.
You see how much fucking snow is on my car?
I did. I watched you walk. I was like, holy shit.
Living out in them boonies, you know?
Yeah. All right. Ready?
Nope.
Sir.
All right.
Hit that beat.
Shut the fuck up.
What's up?
We're not fucking doing that.
Yeah, why not?
Because we're not bringing it back.
We're bringing it back.
We're not bringing it back.
Bringing it back.
It's not coming back.
It's coming back.
Welcome back to the podcast. We're the 11-year-olds, and today we have a special guest.
I got no snare in my headphones.
I guess I'm the special guest.
Oh, yeah, that's a special guest. Today's special guest is
B-Rad.
B-Rad.
No,
Not B-Rad.
AKA Salami.
Traffic.
Yeah, like with S-U-H.
Yes,
Salami.
Salami. A.K.A. Brandon Stry, the most famous local skateboarder I could get on this podcast.
No, that's fair. Local's an understatement, but
Crispy.
we're still here.
Local?
I'm not local to here.
Wilkes-Barre?
I mean,
Where are you from?
And Nanticoke.
Oh, okay.
That's
Nanacoke.
that's pretty...
You drove here from Nanacoke?
Well, Sugar Notch now.
Jeez.
It's
From
like-
Nanticoke.
It's only like 30 minutes, right?
Roughly, yeah.
Yeah.
Scranton would be local, though. Like, there's local Scranton skaters.
Yeah.
None that I knew. Well, I
mean,
guess
none that I know anymore.
none that I would put on the podcast.
I mean, it's
None that I
different, though.
want to
even-
associate with.
I don't even see skaters like...
There is occasionally like there's people that come up. I hear people up and down come down the street
Okay.
that are like I hear the skateboard obviously.
I got you.
Yeah, it's occasionally.
Yeah, but back when I was growing up, like you could go skate and I could go skate. I wouldn't have a phone, obviously. I can go skate and find people skating.
Yeah.
Now it's not, I don't think it's like that anymore. I could be wrong.
There's not even generationals no more.
Yeah.
Really?
Because I can think of 2 generations of skaters ahead of me. Then my generation was last. And then it went to like scooter kids.
Yeah.
And like they
Scooter
fell
kids.
off.
I get that. Yeah, because when I was like 23, 24, my neighbor had a scooter. And like we'd go to the skate park and his mom would be like, can you take him to the skate
Is that the
park
one
with
we
you?
skated with? No.
No, not Jason.
Not
No, but he's
Jason.
a scooter kid too now.
He is a scooter
Yeah,
kid.
but he's our age.
Yeah.
Well, he's 28.
Is he the one that opened that? Who opened that skate shop downtown?
That's not Jason, but
That's okay.
I forget his name for Bizarre Skateboards.
Yeah.
I forget his name.
Around here.
Yeah.
Downtown Scranton. They opened it up last year.
Last year.
I'm about to check it out.
Yeah, it's a good spot. Bunch of local skaters from Scranton that I grew up with. I can't remember their names though.
That apparently he can't find.
Who can't find?
You can't find.
I can't find the names.
You can't find the people.
To skate with?
Yes.
That's not what I'm saying. I mean, they're all older. They probably drive to their skate spots. I'm talking about like when you're, 12 years old, you get home from school, you grab your board and you go skate to the spot to local skate spots, and there's always someone at skate
is there
spots.
local skate spots anymore though? Like
Still, yeah.
street skate, like
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you still. I mean, we used to get kicked out of them all the time as kids,
right, but I mean, like I feel like that's gotten worse and worse as the years
getting
went on.
kicked out.
Like just like trying to skate like street.
Yeah, I mean,
somewhere.
I haven't tried to like go downtown Scranton
Obviously,
and skate the
yeah.
forums. Like I haven't tried to do that in probably like 10 years.
Right.
So, but I don't know. I just feel like
100% you're getting cops called on you.
yeah, even back then you would.
Yeah,
you know,
so
that's why we
That
would
was
wait
part of the
till.
fun of it.
Yeah, yeah, you got to get in, get out, get your trick, get in, get out.
Yeah.
Hit
So
the
is
next
that
spot.
is that why you think there's like everyone drives to like parks now and stuff like that?
I mean, I would say there's definitely a lot more parks in the area than there was when we were growing up. Because
Mm-hmm.
like I could think of like, or maybe just because I thought they were so far away, and now to me like driving an hour
Because
is
yeah.
worth it.
Too.
You know.
And not having that car, you couldn't.
Right,
You didn't
right.
have the luxury
Yeah.
of going somewhere like that.
Yeah.
I remember going to Carbondale Skate Park when I was a kid for the first time, thinking like, this is so far away, and being so pumped, and it was like the shittiest skate park, but
Yeah.
it was like,
I thought Carbondale was sick, and I only went there like last year for the first time ever.
yeah, and you thought it was sick.
I thought it was sick,
Yeah,
but
it's
I also thought Underwood's was sick
I mean, they're sick for what we have.
for what
here.
we have. Yeah.
Yeah, like we don't have shit here,
Mm-hmm.
you know. I mean, you could drive 2 hours and go to FDR. Did you ever go? Were you ever
No.
at FDR?
FDR is nice.
It's nice. Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Best place though is Bethlehem. It's a skate plaza, not a park.
Okay, I've never been there.
All
What's the
street.
difference?
So a park, you have like transition, you know, vert, where like a plaza is more like street skating.
Yeah,
so you'll have like
it's created
sets,
for street
rails.
skating.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like flat.
Yeah,
It's
they
not just
basically
like a
take
bunch
like
of.
your favorite street spot, like marble hubbas, curbs, and they make it into a skate park.
Okay.
So you can actually legally not get in trouble and skate it.
And skate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're not downtown skating the forum, you know.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So the reason we want to talk about skating
Mhm.
is because the SOTY
Yeah. Skater
was
of the
just announced.
year. It was trash.
Trash thoughts.
Trash. I want to get Brandon's take on it
Okay.
All right.
because he's definitely more knowledgeable than the both of us because we're kind of out of it.
Yeah.
And he's in it.
So there are a lot of good options that could have been for skate of the year. Now, skating in the last, we'll even call it 5 years, has blown up like to levels that I can't even like understand, like how complex skating has gotten. You talk 10 years ago, you could have dropped a video part locally and had some kind of sponsor. You could have sent it out to some kind of brand. You could have gotten some kind of article of clothing or anything in general. It's not like that now. You need to be like 14 doing some crazy stuff.
Bangers.
Right. Yeah, you have to be dropping bangers at like 14. So by the time that you're 18, you're dropping even harder bangers. So there's a lot of names in skateboarding now that I don't even know about. There's just too
Same.
many people now. Off the top of my head, that the people that were kind of like running for Skater of the Year, clearly Nigel Houston,
Yes.
3 parts this year, 2 of them back to back essentially, with an injury. We got Louis Lopez, which Louis Lopez, I mean, he's ran so many years in a row,
Yeah.
trying to get Skater of the Year, and I just don't think he aligns with what Thrasher wants for that, and I
Okay.
can talk on that later.
Okay.
The award is given out by Thrasher.
Yeah,
right?
it is the Thrasher
Okay.
skater of
Right.
the year.
So
Gotcha.
that's what a lot of people get. I'm gonna kind of talk about this too, but a lot of people get that confused too. That it's Thrasher's Skater of the Year.
Yeah, it's not like-
Skater
like-
of the Year.
like
who
a-
did the
Right.
best.
A combined thing.
right,
It's
right.
just
It's
like
who Thrasher,
Thrasher
thinks,
thinks.
is skater
Yeah.
of the year.
Mr. Jones, you know,
Yes.
right there, Tyshawn.
Tyshawn.
He deserves it.
some
But those
bangers.
are my like 3 that I would kind of go with. Is
That
Nigel-
Thrasher cover was sick over the subway.
Yeah.
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 The one that was also in the
T-Funk?
running was
Yeah,
T-Funk.
Yeah. No, I like T-Funk too.
I don't like him.
Not as much as my other 3.
He's got like an early like 60s like pool skating vibe
Yeah.
that he just does all this weird stuff and like
I'm gonna plus that up 20 years, probably 80s.
yeah maybe
Yeah, that'd be more like it.
Yeah.
well whatever and then he also reminds me a lot of like early Bam Margera where he's just like trying to drop in on anything that
Just going for
he
it.
thinks could
Well, look
he,
at the
he
size
could,
of his wheels that he runs. You see the size of the wheels T-Funk runs? They're like,
I never really took notice. to be
dude, they're
honest.
massive. Like you're not a stop rock.
56s
yeah.
probably?
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely
they
like
look
56s.
huge.
They almost like the silicone like cruiser board wheels.
really
Oh, like the shark wheel.
Yeah.
So they might even be bigger than 56s. I don't even know. But yeah, but they're big. But he likes going fast. He likes rolling over. Obviously, the spots he skates have like the biggest cracks and uneven concrete, shit like that. But
I mean, it's all situational, right?
Yeah.
I don't know where. I would imagine his part was probably filmed in like
I think
Los Angeles somewhere.
A lot of different places. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Because depending on where you're filming at, you might need to
Oh yeah, definitely.
And,
adjust.
a lot of the comparisons between the three that I mentioned, it's hard to even compare those three skaters. So like Nyjah, he's known as, and this is my opinion on why he didn't get Skater of the Year again, is he's known as like a corporate skater. Okay. He's not known as a core skater.
Is that because he's like sponsored by Nike?
Sort of. He doesn't align, in my opinion, with what Thrasher wants.
Before Nike, who was he with?
Etnies?
Element?
Well, Element's a board company.
No. Yeah, who do you originally
sign? Monster sponsors, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he does have Monster sponsors.
Yeah.
But what are you saying? Shoe company? Nike's a shoe company.
He had another
shoe company?
I want to say he went back and forth with Element like early in his career.
Well, yeah, he even had his own board company for a little bit.
For a very little bit, yeah. That his dad started.
Yeah, but it was always Element, and then he went back down to Puerto Rico, and then he came back with Element and stayed with Element. Now he's got his own big company, doesn't he? I think it's called Disorder.
Yeah, he just started that one up.
Okay.
Yeah. Like literally, if you watch his like last two skate parks,
is that a board company?
It's a board company. You can see him ride Element, and then like all of a sudden it switches. Disorder. Yeah.
That same thing with Jones. He just started his own company. It's not even a name out for it yet. He's just riding the boards.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Oh, really?
So
it's crazy, like what we came from, because it was like it was so hard to make anything your own. You never would dream of making your own board company, and now people could. You could have your own YouTube channel, your own followers, your own company. You could have your own. You don't even have to have big sponsors, but you can still make a living in skateboarding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all self-sustained now.
Right? So are you when you said that it's back in the day, it was a lot easier not easier, but you would just put out like
the tricks weren't as complex.
Put out a video if you were doing like decent stuff. Right. It was easy to get noticed. Do you think because of like YouTube and
100%,
it's
social
just,
media,
it's just spread,
definitely been out there,
and so like it's so like there's so much.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that kind of go into it. So like skateboarding is really not that old,
right?
Like skateboarding really came out, if we're talking 50 years,
70s,
like 80s. Where it really started like popping.
Yeah,
and it wasn't even like popping like it is now.
Mm-hmm.
No.
So like if you started something, 10 years ago, and it's only been out for, we'll call it 30 years, there's not a whole lot of like evolution that's already came.
Mm-hmm.
But now if you're starting it now and you have YouTube to see pros and you can see them do these tricks and there's trick tutorials and you're already 6 years old seeing all this, and you're already surrounded by people who know a lot about skateboarding, it's going to be a little bit easier for you to get into it, learn how to do it. So like when I was growing up, I didn't really have YouTube yet because YouTube wasn't what it is now.
Right.
People weren't putting video parts on YouTube. There wasn't trick tutorials on there. You went to the store and you were hoping to find like a Baker DVD or like something like that.
Yeah.
Or you're waiting for your CCS magazine and you're to pick out what you want, or your Thrasher magazine. But now it's so much easier to get recognition and like tutoring through it to get really good.
It kind of reminds me of like the music business.
Yeah.
Because before, like, to find like a new, like a local or like even like an underground artist or something like that, you'd have to like find like a mixtape or something like that and buy like a mixtape. And now everything's on like you can
everything Spotify,
YouTube. You can just be anywhere.
I also think so. When back in the day, you'd have to wait for like a video part, like a whole video part, like Elementality or something like that, to come out, and you'd wait like a year or so, and then to finally see those tricks, and then people would be like, oh, I got to one up these guys' parts. Right. Now you could just go on Instagram and people are doing massive shit, so they're like immediately have to go one up that. So instead of waiting like 6 months to a year to see what your competition is, to see what you have to go next and one up, it's like instant. So so it's so much faster. Like the evolution is it's fast forwarded because you're just seeing it and then going one upping it and posting it, seeing it, one upping it.
That's why there's so many more names in the game too.
Yeah, that too.
It's available to anyone to see.
Right. Think about growing up. What skaters do we have? We had like obviously Tony Hawk, right? But then we had Chris Cole. We had Eric Costin. We had P-Rod. But there's only like maybe 10 that were like major pro skaters that you knew about. Now there's so many.
So many.
Right.
Yeah.
And growing up, like I didn't like, for me to want to try something, it was usually something I see in a video game.
Right.
I didn't watch videos.
Right.
I would watch, like, I would just like play video games, and I'd be like, oh, you know,
But that's what was so cool about Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Like, we were like right in that perfect era where like in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater was 401 videos. So you would unlock that secret tape and see like Bam Margera's 401 part, or like, you know, Ronnie Mullen's 401 part, and like I still have the music and the parts like embedded in my brain. When I hear that song, I'm like, that was Ronnie Mullen's song or whatever. So it was just like that perfect, that Tony Hawk's Pro Skater game. It just like gave it to like skateboarding to everybody. Like the cool part.
That opened skateboarding to pretty much everyone.
Millions.
Too.
Yeah, it made it like super popular.
I seen a post on Facebook 2 days ago. It was saying like, how is Tony Hawk known to the general public as just being a professional skateboarder? Like the general public doesn't know anyone about skateboarding.
Right. Nothing.
Except Tony Hawk.
Except Tony Hawk,
because of that game.
And then the same thing was with Bam Margera, because he like people didn't know. After a while, people didn't know him for skating. They just knew him because
he was on TV.
He was on TV, and I mean, everyone else was like, "Oh, you mean the pro skater?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "No, the guy on TV." Like,
Bam essentially at one point was like the Taylor Swift of
right.
Like this generation.
He got like super famous super quick, and I mean, it all started with like little CKY skateboarding videos and pranks and shit.
Yeah, and
like
that's
that.
all he had to do was like add in like stunts and pranks in with skating, and then it just went to a whole different.
I was watching. Vice put out a little documentary on him, like how he's like recovering and stuff like that. And they went over like how he got started, and when he was young, he used to like cut videos together, and he'd have like 2 minutes of pranks and then like 20 minutes of skateboarding, and he like half his friends would like. Once it got to skateboarding, they would stop watching. So he used to like cut in like 2 minutes of pranks, then 2 minutes of skateboarding, 2 minutes of pranks, and that's
like,
and he got like that retention, and he knew like he knew what people want to see.
Right, and then that's when CKY came out the video with like Land Speed, and CKY 2K, and they sold millions, millions of copies of those. So, and that's where Jackass started.
Yeah, and that's where Jackass got its start, because they saw that video and they were like, apparently when they first started shooting the like pilot for Jackass, they used some of those clips for CKY 2K. Yeah.
And Big Brother on the West Coast. Big Brother was West Coast with Steve-O and Johnny Knoxville and all them, and then on the West Coast it was.
East Coast.
East Coast, it was Bam. It was
Ryan
Dunn, all of them. So then they combined it to make Jackass.
Yeah.
But Sodi, so let's. I know we kind of went off on that, but Sodi, so you're saying that because Nyjah is that corporate skater, he's like that. He's that corporate skater. He doesn't fit the Thrasher part. He's kind of like almost like a cringy skater who doesn't fit those lines.
To Thrasher magazine, I think so. Yeah. My personal opinion is he is one of like the best right now. He'd definitely be like an idol to anyone that I know, in my friend group that skates. His issue is that he's too good to be on Thrasher.
Okay.
They don't want to keep seeing the same people over and over. Granted, there could be multiple winners, twice in a row.
He's never won it though, right?
He's never won it.
He's never won it.
But he also doesn't fit the style of, okay, so if you were going down the street and you seen Nyjah do, front lip down to kink rail over kink rail.
Ain't nothing.
Like nothing.
Right.
I'll do it right now. You know what I'm saying?
But to an average person, they're going to be like, oh, wow, look at that guy.
Right.
But then you see, Jones, and he's doing, backside big spins.
Right.
Like down massive sets with like 10, 15 foot pop.
So, and it just means
like,
more.
Whoa, like that's like street skating. That's like,
I think Nyjah is a lot more technical.
Yeah, he's too good at what he does. He makes it too easy.
Yeah,
Thrasher doesn't like that.
So, right, they want like raw, like gnarly stuff.
So with that being said, do you think he will ever win?
Between him and Louis, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Louis had
they missed that window, right?
Yeah.
It's not
I feel like
the window's missed. It's just that they're too ahead.
Right. That's what I meant. Like they would have to be younger, less known. But that's the problem too with it. It's like Nyjah's been doing it since 11. He's been sponsored, something like that. So it's been so long that he's been in the game.
Yeah, I was watching an interview with Nyjah. I think it was on Steve-O's podcast, actually.
Okay, yeah, he was on that.
Shout out Steve-O's Wild Ride.
Yeah. And he was mentioning on there that he's never actually gone for Skater of the Year, though. He said there's a lot of times that, he was thinking about going for it, but never put the time in.
Do you think with the parts he put out this year, he was actually going for it? Or do you think he was just putting out parts?
Um,
I know, like the parts also correlated with like shoe drops and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So was he just putting out parts, or was he actually
I
going for it?
don't think he was going for it
Mm-hmm.
because the beginning of the year he was a little bit quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like other skaters, so skaters kind of do it kind of like a Christmas drop, where like a Christmas with a business. So like businesses are gonna wait to do really good deals around Christmas time when people are Christmas shopping.
Right.
Where skaters are gonna put their best video parts out around the time where Sodi's getting involved.
They're talking about it, right?
You don't want to get forgotten about.
Right.
So you need to drop something in the beginning of the year, the middle of the year, and the end. So really 3 parts, which is a lot, especially if you're talking 10, 15-minute parts.
Yeah.
And the beginning of the year, he wasn't.
Now, I've
dropping.
never like obviously filmed or like skated hardcore. Is it a lot to film
Yeah.
3 parts? I mean, it does not
You
sound like
talk
a
about
A kickflip front board, right? On like it might have taken you all day to get that one trick, but it's like what 10, 12 seconds footage.
right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that think about how long that would take.
Yeah, but in my head,
make
it
15
doesn't take
minutes.
him all day. Like in my head, it's like,
No, but
oh,
you
yeah, I'm
also
gonna
have
do
to-
that, and I'm gonna do that, and
You
I'll be
also have
done.
to think about tricks. Like so now it's not just like you can't just go do a front side flip over a 10 stair. That's nothing anymore.
Yeah,
you
do you
literally have to
think-
be creative.
Do you
with
think they're
every
like
trick.
definitely all like it's like they're mapped out?
I think the bangers are mapped out, and then they go get filler.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean-
So Niger, I believe he just went to Europe
Okay.
recently.
Okay.
He was there for 6 days, and it was strictly for skateboarding. Like it wasn't to make a part there. It was just to go there and skateboard.
Okay.
He said he got enough film when he was there to make an entire part
Whew.
in 6 days.
In 6 days.
6 days,
That's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Like to me, if you're a professional skateboarder, it shouldn't be that hard to put out 3 parts in a year.
It's definitely not, but especially if you look at the tricks he
And
does.
I mean, I mean,
he's
I
not
understand.
doing like lines where a line could take 25, 30 seconds.
I mean, there are
of
some
film.
lines in those videos.
Yeah, no, there definitely is. But if you look back to back, it's rail, rail, rail,
Yeah, yeah.
rail.
Right.
And those are only 5, 6 seconds a piece. And to make 15 minutes
What's
of
it?
6 seconds.
What do you think? You think 15 minutes is an average
15's
video
a
length?
lot.
Yeah, I feel like 10 to
that's
15
what
minutes.
Yeah, I mean that the what's the name? The part we just watched.
Till death or
No,
need
the-
that?
Need that
Yeah.
was 15 minutes long.
Yeah.
And I felt like that. I felt like it was too long.
Yeah.
It wasn't so much repetitive as it was like just a lot. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean?
At the same time, too,
And then you
filming
s-
for like these parts, they're also filming for their Instagram.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's not that they could just say, because they can't show the clips that they're putting in their part.
No.
That's all
'cause
hidden
that's
footage.
yeah, it's
Right,
until
tough.
it drops.
Right.
You
So they
gotta
have to
be,
get like
you gotta
just
be
stuff
like
to keep
yeah,
their social media, popping. That, but you're not leaking your bangers.
your bangers. Yeah, I understand. I don't know. I don't know if he got robbed or not.
I mean, the way Brandon's talking now, it makes sense. You know
Yeah.
why he didn't get it.
Yeah.
Where if you look at Louis, too, it's kind of the same boat where he's not necessarily this corporate skater, but he's very technical.
Yeah.
So his
And
tricks,
It's clean.
I don't even know what he's doing half the time.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like,
Yeah.
what was that?
You have to like go back
There's
and
a-
slow it down.
He did 4 pieces to that one
Yeah.
trick. I don't even know what that was. So again, to a thrasher standpoint,
It's about that
They're more
gnarly
rugged.
like look.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
I get it. What got you started skateboarding?
So when I was 9, a neighbor moved into my dad. My dad lived in a double house, and his name was Brandon as well. And
Catchy name.
yeah, and he had a skateboard and a bicycle. I had a bicycle. We became friends like instantly. We were riding our bikes around. We crashed into each other, fell off the bikes, and then we were instantly friends. And from that point forward, we used to kind of do like funny things at nighttime. So like at a 4-way stop sign, you had like the crossing paths. We'd see how many times we could make it around all 4 sections before a car came.
Okay.
It was just something we did to pass time.
Yeah.
And then a skateboard got involved into that.
It's a real small town, by the way, guys.
Oh yeah, very, very small. That's what we did there.
It was their only red light in the entire town.
Yeah. So once a skateboard got involved, we were killing our old records of trying to run this. Like it was just more fun. And then for my 10th birthday, I got a skateboard. It was a mongoose from like Walmart.
Hell
Nothing
yeah.
crazy.
Was it black and orange?
To be honest, I don't even remember.
I think
what
I
it
had the
looked
same
like.
board.
All I know is this thing got scraped up, and I had like pressure cracks in this thing, and I didn't even do nothing with it. It was just, It was just that's how it was.
It's definitely a barnacle board.
Yeah, but that's kind of how it got started. And then for like 3 years after that, like I didn't even know like olling was possible. Kickflips. What's a kickflip?
What
Yeah.
year is this, by the way?
Oh God, it's 2022 now. You take
So you're 9.
minus 15 from that.
What the fuck do I look like? A mathematician?
Like 2004, somewhere around
there.
there.
Yeah.
2005.
I think he's way off, but go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't figure out math.
Well, like
20 minus 2000, it would be 2005 plus 2, so 2007.
2007.
So YouTube, we're talking 2005.
Yeah,
Right.
that's when it started. Right.
2000. Yeah, and then 2007 is 2 years. So skateboarding wasn't what it is now.
No.
So
Tony Hawk was out by then now.
Yeah.
Like Pro Skater.
on PlayStation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
2
yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
Yeah, Tony
definitely.
Hawk's Pro Skater 1 was like 2000.
Right. So,
Yeah, that was like right when Skate 1 came out. The game
but
Skate
he's
1.
saying he didn't like know ollieing was possible back
Right,
then. You know
right.
what I
He
mean?
literally
So,
just pushed around. We went to CVS.
So what was the first time you saw like kickflips, ollies, stuff like besides ollies?
So it was also in the same vicinity as the stop signs.
Okay.
There's a couple kids coming down the hill. That's right next to a hill there.
Okay.
And then I seen them like at the time. I'm gonna use the term jumping over like manholes
Okay.
in the ground. I'm like, whoa, how do you do that?
Yeah, I used to love
So
that.
I remember like trying to like figure it out like in my head.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't understand. I could jump, but my board is not connected.
yeah, my
Yeah.
board
I'm
stays
thinking are like they had their feet tied to it. Is it like a scooter where you-
glued.
yeah, like I had no idea. And eventually, just from moving around, riding off of curbs, because that was like the first biggest thing.
Yeah.
Was riding off a curb and then trying to like, we had chalk and we make lines of how far we could ride off that curb.
Okay.
And eventually we figured out if you lift the back up, you could get a little further because you're more off the curb
Right.
before your back
Right.
wheel's still on the curb. And then it kind of came into like, well, if I push down more, then the ollie kind of came.
So are you
That's
telling
crazy.
me that you invented the ollie for yourself?
For myself, yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like it 100% was already like a trick and like already like known, but like to you,
But
like
to me, that was brand new.
you
Yeah.
invented it, like you came up with it for yourself,
I seen people do it, had no idea how it worked,
and you just
and I learned it.
you
I figured it out.
figured it
Figured
out. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's
Not
crazy.
for every other trick, after
Right,
that,
right.
kind of, came naturally and I seen stuff. But for that, very first time, I can still picture it in my head right now, like learning the ollie with my friend Brandon. It was insane.
That's crazy. Does
Is your friend made up? Same name?
yeah?
No. His last name is Wood. We call him Woody. So
Woody.
keep that.
Do you still skate with him?
He moved to New York,
Oh, okay.
so I occasionally go up there.
Okay.
Does he still skate?
Rarely,
Rarely. Yeah.
unfortunately. Yeah,
Sad.
growing up,
Yeah.
Would you say that? How long ago did he move?
about 5 years ago or so.
Would you say that you like continued to skateboard and he kind of like let it go more?
Like when he was
Yeah.
still local?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes and no. So like, my group of skaters was probably 15 people deep.
Right.
10 on an average day.
Shout out to the Nana Coke skate team.
Yeah, 10 on an average day. 15 when
I
we
made
had,
their
like-
logo.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Oh, you did make
Made
a
the
logo?
I got it tattooed on me.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Our logo, we were a handicap skateboarder. If you could actually still see, there's one by Burnetti's. There's still like a spray painted logo back from 2004, 2005.
Still
Awesome. That's
Still
awesome.
there, yeah, still there.
Some good paint.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like we had like 10 main people and then 15 if we had like the groupies with us, like the girls and like, the people who would be like, whoa, look at these skaters. Let's
Yeah.
hang out
Whoa.
with them for the day. And it was kind of like a flex, but
Yeah, for sure.
it was just something we did though, not for the reasoning of flexing, but it
Right.
was fun. Out of all of us, there's probably 4 left that I see on the regular.
Hurts.
Other ones quit skateboarding. Some they're in jail.
Okay.
And then movements too, moving out of state.
Yeah.
moving
Right,
further
right.
away.
And just, growing up, getting a job,
Right.
getting older.
That's what killed us as skaters was when we got cars.
Okay.
Up until then,
Because yeah, I mean,
That was
it's a
your
mode of a
transportation.
transportation, and that's literally what the skateboarder was invented for.
Yeah.
Was transportation.
Yeah.
yeah, once the cars got involved, I was lucky enough to be one of the first to have my car because I was older than most of the ones that I skated with. Now there's a few older people too. So like I kept the friend group a little bit longer than some. But once those cars got involved, everyone kind of fell off, and then we went from 15 to 10 a day, from 10 a day to 7.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Like once you get a car, you start going out, hanging out, and stuff like that. But some people would take that as like motivation, like, oh, I got a car now. Now I can go there and skate.
Right.
Right.
Or I can go check that spot out. You know what I mean? Like some people would use that as motivation to be able to go wherever they wanted to skate
Yeah.
now instead of just being forced to skate locally.
But you have to love it. Like you have
Right.
to love skating because when you get a car, then you're like, there's so much other things I could do, but besides skateboarding,
Yeah.
you have to love skating to do it. Like keep doing it.
And I didn't do nothing else but skateboard my entire like teenage years.
Right.
Really?
I didn't do no
Same.
sports.
That's all. I played basketball until I found skateboarding, and then I was like, "Fuck basketball," you know.
Yeah.
I
I didn't
skate.
care about school. I would be in school, looking out the window of school, and be like, "I want to skate that curb out there."
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
that was my goal: is to leave
Yeah.
where I'm sitting now, get outside that window, and skate that curb.
It's also harder. Like you say, did you grow up in Nanticoke?
Yeah.
So like being out in like that rural, there's like I'm assuming not much to skate. What
No.
like shopping centers,
Nothing.
stuff like that is where you right like parking lot is all you have. So like you'd have to get to like your spots is like hard from the country. That's why it's hard to skate when you're out in the boonies like that.
Yeah.
Because like you need someone to give you a ride or whatever.
Yeah, we had Nanticoke High School, which luckily we really didn't kicked out too
That's
much.
good.
Downtown, at one point there was a place called Konjorski's.
Okay.
I was never really able to skate in there. I wasn't allowed downtown when I was that age when it was around.
Yep.
Until then, it's been like torn down and built back up as LCC, like the culinary area down there.
Okay.
And then there's this one place called Grey Dock, right across from the post office in Nanticoke,
Okay.
which is also torn down now. Other than those two spots, I mean, there's a few little places we had. These are just gonna be random names, but there's a place called Cheese Gap,
Okay.
Brick,
Okay.
just random names that we kind of came up with.
I think like as skaters, we all do that. Like I had like Bordeaux's, like you would never know what it is,
Right.
But like Bordeaux's Gap, Bernetti's, PNC obviously is a bank with
Yep.
good like
But-
marble ledges.
every skater in Nanticoke knew those names.
Right,
So
right.
if you're like, hey, meet me at Cheese Gap, they'd all be there.
Of course, yeah, for sure.
It's like little lingo we had.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like every area of skaters has that because it's just the gaps, the spots you skate. You know?
Right.
So, do you remember who was the first like pro? Like, when was the first time you were like, yo, like you could do that with a skateboard? Like,
So this is gonna be funny, but like there used to be a YouTube channel. I think that still exists. I don't know if it does. It's called Watch Mojo,
okay,
and there was this female commentator who would just commentate on like freestyling, like skateboarding, freestyling bike,
okay,
like BMX stuff, like where they'd be like on the bike tire spinning.
yeah, like freestyle, yeah,
And like I seen Rodney Mullen. She was like doing some kind of interview with him.
Shout out.
shout out Ronnie Mullen.
Yeah. And from that I was like, whoa, like that's like skateboarding that I still can't do.
Yeah,
Because that's
so
technically
unique.
skateboarding. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to pop my board where he likes to jump on his board. You know,
Right.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah,
Yep.
he likes to do like the Casper flips, the handstands, like all
Yeah.
the
That's where
dark
it,
slides.
Our last episode when Josh asked me about like what skateboarder I like the most.
Mhm.
That's where I went. Like Roddy Mullen was always like
Yeah.
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
It's just because his stuff stood out so much more.
From
Even if you
everybody
compared it
else's,
to,
yeah.
And
like,
just because
today's
he like
skaters.
he
Yeah.
invented so much.
He did, yeah.
And I mean, without the stuff that like he came up with, we wouldn't have half the shit we had today.
Right.
Right.
And you have to look like he's not even that old now. So for him to invent something like kickflip, and
The kickflip,
ollie and
yeah.
everything,
Yep.
The ollie.
it's like,
Yeah.
man, like imagine if he already had those things available to him as a kid, how
Right.
good he'd be now.
Mm-hmm.
One that like look how good the people are now.
Right.
Right.
That's progression.
Yeah.
So you're saying that's your favorite skater of all time is
Roddy Mullen. 100%.
So who's your favorite skater of all time?
For the longest time, it was Lizard King.
Okay.
He's a name that's not really thrown around too much anymore.
He rode for who did he ride for?
I
Was
believe.
it Toy Machine or Alien? Was it with Rob Deerdick? Alien Workshop.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember.
I don't remember
who he
either.
rode for at the time.
I remember seeing him on Fantasy Factory though, and he was riding. I think he was.
Lizard King.
I think he was riding like a toy machine or something.
Yeah, I really got into Ryan Sheckler for a while just because I liked his aesthetic.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
kind of fell into that
Because he was
long-haired
yeah.
dweeb.
Dweeb.
sort of. Yeah.
I mean, he's a ladies' man, dude. He gets all the chicks. He gets all the money. He's before Nyjah. He was the young popular skater.
Well, that's what I mean. Like that's what like every time I hear Ryan Sheckler, I just think of like a 13-year-old kid.
Well, yeah, from Grind.
Yeah.
Yeah, with braces.
I believe
Yeah.
Ryan Sheckler was an ender to a video part too back in the day when he was like 14 or 15.
Yeah, when he was young. Yeah,
He
Really.
closed the video part out, which is
It was
like
a big gap, like a big drop, right? I
Yeah.
think it was like into the road. I remember seeing
which is
that.
massive because back then we were talking earlier, like you want to end a video part with a banger.
Yeah.
Right.
And to
Right.
have this 14-year-old kid who just got signed to a team
Yep.
taking over the spotlight, it's like it's kind of like a step back.
Yeah, for sure. I even like watching his stuff now, like at
So
his
what-
skate park.
What was it about Lizard King that drew you in like that?
Well,
oh, he's my favorite
It
now.
definitely was the name at first. I was like, man, Lizard King.
That's
like,
dope.
I want to be the Lizard
Sick.
King.
Yeah, right.
Um,
I want to be the Lizard King.
yeah, and then from there on out, I was just starting to follow him on. I don't even know if it was social medias at the time. It was more or less like
Yeah, right. Like it was just wherever you could
I
find
could
content.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that just kind of stuck with me for forever. And then over the past couple years, I don't know if you'd be considered my favorite, but definitely an idolized skater, Aaron Jazamoki.
Okay.
He dropped an entire skate part
He's sick.
of just roof gaps.
Roof gaps.
Yeah.
Like 10,
Dude.
15, 20-foot drops.
The way he can compress his body on landings is insane.
I don't get
people would explode.
It's
Like,
it's
I
super
would die.
big
Like my
because your
hips
knees
would go through my body.
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Your knees get real bad if you can't like
yeah.
take that.
And he's
impact.
just like transition. He's just so clean.
really.
He did the 25.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, the 25 foot.
Yeah.
The
Lions Gap?
25 step. Yeah.
Lions Gap, right? Yeah.
25.
That's
And
the record, right?
Nah, there might be more, but in skating terms, like this set is like I don't even know how to explain
Huge.
it. It's like
It's probably like a couple stories, wasn't it? Like a couple stories
Really?
of a drop, and then you had to go out on top 25 on top of it.
Okay.
And he went. I think it was 20. I'm gonna get the year wrong. 2014 or so. He went there, tried it, like tore his ACL or something in his knee, like
Fucked up.
awfully. Came back a year later, and then did it again.
Yeah, and it was a battle. Like security was like giving him problems,
Yeah.
and his run up. Did you see his run up for it?
Yeah,
it
he
was
had
like
to drop
down
and-
in the side. Yeah, gnarly,
Absolutely insane.
crazy, for sure. Like I can respect all that, but to me, that's not my favorite kind of skating. I love just like the simple stuff. Like I love the simple shit. Like just the clean kickflip crook, down a mellow rail. Like I can respect all the crazy skating. But I'm like that with everything. Even now with like freestyle motocross, like I'm huge into motocross stuff, but like people are doing like double backflips and crazy stuff. I'm just like, I just like to see like the clean stuff, clean, simple. That's what I like.
Yep.
You're easy to
I agree with
impress.
that.
I am. No, it's just the style. I think it's
Yeah.
just too much.
Right.
Like they're going too like, I love the flow of skating. Like I
You don't
love,
like the limit pushers.
Right.
So you kind of align with Thrasher then on why Nigel's not.
Yeah, I do. But I also respect like it's still clean. Like Nigel's still just so clean. But like my favorite skater is like growing up was Chris Cole, and like he was just like so clean with everything he did, like all the zero parts he's done and all that stuff. Like it was just so clean, everything about it.
He's one of the only skaters that won Skate of the Year twice.
Yeah,
Was Chris Cole.
yeah. It wasn't back to back though, right?
No, I don't believe so.
No, but
And now Tyshawn Jones, I believe, has it twice now.
Yeah.
He's the second one
okay,
to ever have that.
okay.
Trash.
Well,
I
a
mean,
little bit.
he's
He's great. He's great. He deserves it. Not as much as Nigel.
NYC.
Not as much as that.
I think they should come up with like another skater of the year that's just not by Thrasher.
I agree.
I mean, anyone is there who? So Thrasher is a magazine company, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So
And clothing and
Yeah, they do.
right, or a
They're
little
like
bit of
face of
everything.
skate-
Media.
one of the
Like
faces of
basically like an
skateboarding.
apparel kind of like.
yeah,
Is there anyone else like
not notoriously known.
not known
Yeah.
That's the
enough
issue.
that like
Yeah.
yeah.
Because the title Skate of the Year is better than winning the Barracks.
Mhm.
Honestly, in skating terms, it's better than the Olympics.
Yeah.
It's
It's
Skater
just
of the
more,
Year
more
is
credit,
like that
more respect
title.
for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
More respect for it.
Yeah, that's the title that you're trying to achieve, especially if you're in the spotlight like that.
For sure. What about with the Olympics? What do you feel about the Olympics? Do you think it's like whack or do you think it's cool?
I dig it
Okay.
just because it's getting skateboarding out there.
For sure.
But you're not you're not a vert fan,
Yeah,
right?
no,
And
I
it's
I mean, they do
just
street. They did street. in
did they do
Olympics, right?
street?
Yeah,
Yeah, they
Okay.
did street.
I don't do vert, but no, a lot of people are saying like don't classify it as a sport. Olympics is sports. Is swimming a sport though? You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
right. Exactly.
Like,
Yeah. No, for real.
Olympics doesn't make it a sport.
I like to think that anything can be a sport if you like make it competitive.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Well, that was one of the reasons like I chose skateboarding because I played baseball, for a few years.
right.
And the reason I went to skateboarding was that I didn't have to go to mandatory practices.
Right.
I didn't have to, be on a team, and I didn't have to play with people.
Right.
If I was, alone, I could be like, well, I'm gonna go skate today and have fun,
Right.
and have just as much fun as if I had, 10 other people with me. Well, maybe not as much fun,
No, definitely.
but you could still progress by yourself. Where baseball, throw the ball in the air and hit it.
Right. And you didn't have to be like there was like some kind of technique or form you needed with baseball. You don't need that with skating. You
Right.
could just be yourself. You could
You can find your own way.
Right.
And I
You
mean,
could be
with
a
that
curb.
ollie, you know what I mean? You found your own way.
Exactly.
be a curb skater, a street skater, a vert skate. You could do whatever. Skate, and make it your own. you can put your own personality into it, you know?
Yep. So I wouldn't really put it into a sports category, although it could be. It's definitely more along the lines of extreme sports, kind of like, nitro circus type stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that's, what motocross is a sport.
Right.
But nitro circus is like an extreme sport.
There was something about like the first X Games, and they had like all kinds of shit in there.
Like weird shit?
Yeah.
Like what?
Let me look it up.
Rollerblading?
No.
Skateboarding? They did in the X Games. They used to have rollerblading in X Games. A little bit of fruit booting.
A little bit of fruit booting.
Do you know that term? Fruit booting?
I do not know that term.
No, really? He didn't know that either. That's what it's like a slur against rollerbladers. Like back in the day, because you never got along. Like if you went to a spot and there was rollerbladers at the spot and you were skaters, you're like rivalries. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it was like fruit booters was like a negative comment towards rollerbladers. I don't know.
Did you because you would technically be like a generation before me of skateboarding,
right?
In my sense,
yeah.
Was there rivalry with skateboarding versus skateboarding when you went to a park, or was it all welcomed, kind of like it is now?
It was always like hit or miss. So like when you had the older skaters there, it was always like older versus younger. Like, are they going to be cool and like let you skate with them and like let you learn with them, or are they going to be like, yo, these kids are whack, get them out of here?
Yeah.
But never like really skaters like never had any problems with other skaters. Like, why did you have like different crews and like?
So sort of. So like the generation above me, because I've brought this up before in conversation, is if they went to a park and there's other skaters there,
okay,
they almost felt unwelcome to be there because the other skaters were not necessarily just so good that they took the whole park up.
Right.
They'd feel like a snake if they were there and they weren't joined in. And I feel like because they got taught it that way, they are very welcoming to my generation.
Okay.
So like if I went to a skate park and the generation above me was there, they would kind of open their arms up and like they'd help you with tricks. They would give you tips.
Right.
Where like they didn't have that.
No, for sure. Like, so like you're saying that we didn't, like my generation didn't have that?
Yeah. I think your generation was kind of left to fend for yourself.
Yeah.
Your generation opened your arms up to my generation of skating.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I could see that because I used to have neighbors like that were about like 5 years older than me that were like, kick flipping off curbs and, doing everything I wanted to do. And anytime I would like try to like ask them questions or learn, they would just be like, they would not have anything to do with me.
Right. Yeah.
Or then like they would see me skating and they wouldn't be skating. They'd be walking by, be like, hey, let me see your board. And they snap my board and like walk away.
Yeah, no, that's awful.
Yeah,
See, now if I see like a kid skating, I'm more than welcoming to him because I
do
want
a kickflip.
I want that kid to like. I want the next generation of skaters to be out there, especially in our area, because there's nothing.
I think that's what's a big part of it. There was so many skaters like in my generation that like there was never that fear of it going away. Now it's like because you would see them everywhere, so it'd just be like it wouldn't be uncommon to see another skater. Right. Now it's uncommon, so you're almost instantly friends. You're just like, let's skate,
So the first X Games included bungee jumping, eco challenge. I'm not sure what that is. Inline skating, skateboarding, sky surfing, sports climbing, street luge, biking, and water sports.
I want to be a part of street luge.
And this was what, 93?
95.
Oh, okay.
That was the first, it was the extreme games.
Yeah, I was 3.
Yeah.
So,
but that was the first X Games, and that's like, after that, they started narrowing it down to like what we know now.
Right.
But like, yeah, that was the first X Games. Had some crazy stuff in there.
Well, there was a big like gap in skating, like from the 80s into the 90s. There's like it was all vert in the 80s, pool skating,
right?
And then like in the early 90s, it died in the early 90s. Like street skating
took over. Yeah,
I think it's because of Tony Hawk.
Yeah, I think so.
Pro skater.
Well, that's what. And then vert skating came back because of Tony Hawk too.
Right,
yeah, it got popular again, and then the X Games obviously like really helped that and stuff like that.
And then the 900, and then then Tony Hawk skating,
which was huge.
Yeah,
at that time frame.
It's
like he just did 900.
Just a 900.
Like, little 900.
What did that person do in the in the Olympics? It was a 1280.
Yeah, the kid on the mega ramp.
Yeah, on the mega ramp, 1280.
People were saying that like that didn't count because it was on a mega ramp.
I mean, it still counts.
No, it's even scarier.
It's still two full 360s, and then it's disgusting.
Crazy.
I could barely spin that many times on a swivel chair and not be
right.
Let alone landing into a vert.
Yeah, spotting or landing. Not.
I was watching a video with Tony Hawk, and he was saying that like still one of the most like never been done tricks that is beyond possible, not beyond possible, but like still really hard to do is an ollie 720 where you don't grab your board. Yeah. And like,
All right, what's today's date? We're looking at December 12th, 2022. Give it 3 years.
3 years?
Yeah.
Less than 3 years.
Yeah, easy. I would say it's just going to keep progressing.
There's gonna be
There's
someone
no
out there.
limit.
Yeah. I mean, it'll happen.
It will.
Someone will do it.
Definitely.
Physically, I don't know how this works.
Yeah.
Like with physics.
Yeah, there's definitely a.
You have to. I mean, you just have to spin your board the right amount as you spin,
As
right?
you spin.
Yeah.
But when
you have to keep the board to your feet.
Right.
The issue with that is when you do that, your shoulders turn first. Then you're like.
So like
torso area
you kind of
down.
twist.
Right.
Yeah, you twist from the top down. So I would love to see
I don't
that.
know.
I think the problem is you have to like.
Someone might do it on accident.
Yeah, literally.
Someone might be cutting the grass next door and like hit a tennis ball and hit the board.
Yeah.
Remember that Rocket Power. Did you ever watch Rocket
Yeah,
Power?
love rocket.
Yeah. And then, what did we call it? Like Oliver with a McTavish or something? I don't remember. No, it was like, and he didn't know. He thought he just landed it, but then he couldn't do it again. And then they watched the video.
The video and the tennis ball hit it.
Yeah. Got the rotation.
That's funny.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. With the Olympics, I think people are just like, a lot of people were knocking it because they're like, this is our sport. Like, don't it's not cool now. You know what I mean? Even with BMX, skateboarding, like, don't make it mainstream. This is our thing. Like,
Right.
I think it's good because I mean the Olympics is worldwide.
right.
And it brings
Exactly.
everybody together.
Like with the X Games, that's like one of the first things I saw.
Right, but again,
like,
the X Games
extreme sports
was
got me hyped on it.
Was still like just North America.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, for sure. But I'm saying it's like on that level. I think X Games was also frowned upon too by like street skaters, local skaters. They're like, this
Now
is our
it's
thing.
welcome.
Now it's welcome.
Now it's welcome. Yeah. I mean, give it a couple of years. Let a couple of people do some crazy shit in
Our
the
main
X
ones
Games.
were like the barracks and street league skateboarding.
Right. Street League. That was like 2010 that came around, right?
I don't know the years
Rob
exactly,
Dyrdek. Yeah.
but those were like the idolized ones that like I would idolize at least.
Right.
Like the barracks. If you got on the barrack, now the barracks, it's a little different.
Don't let anybody on.
Yeah, now they're doing like 64 brackets that last 3 years to complete.
And it's games of
Jesus.
skate, right?
Yeah.
It's games of skate.
Games of
Is
skate.
that what you competed in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you competed in barracks?
No.
I was gonna say,
man,
that's
man, do
wild.
I wish.
Wild.
But no, I did it. For the comps.
It's not that good. Come down.
Yeah.
So what competitions did you do?
There was just one up in Quakertown we went to.
Okay.
Little comp. Well, I shouldn't say little. But
There was a
it
good amount.
it was a
You said
comp.
there was like over 100.
Man, there was so many bodies there.
Yeah.
And what blew my mind the most were the children that were there, that were just absolutely
Like out skating you? Were they?
bro. Like out skating is an understatement of what they were doing to me, yo. Like I didn't look like I skateboarded at all
Right.
compared to some of these kids here that have been doing
Did
it
you
for 2
feel
years.
unwelcomed though? Did you feel out of place?
I never was at this park in my life.
Okay.
So here's me, ready to go
Right.
at a park that I'd never been to
Right,
before.
right.
And there's 200 plus people. There's cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
There's pro skaters there watching you. Your stomach is full on walking tacos and Mountain Dew. Like,
Was it like run based? Like you
Yeah,
had to run,
yeah.
and like so all eyes are on you.
yeah,
Fuck
yeah.
that.
You had
Right, it's
2
sketchy.
or 3 people during your 60-second like run.
Okay.
And just you land what you land, they score you, and then you wait for the next round. And
Right. And then you get
So-
eliminated, or you keep going.
Not
Or they
really.
just, like-
you kind of just stop, and then
You get a
for
score.
this part here, you got to score.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And then they kind of tally like all the scores up and whatnot.
Now, would you do it again?
Yes,
Okay, so you did enjoy it,
I would do it with more like I'd be practiced. I'd be there.
right?
first,
You want to
a
go to
couple
that
days
park where it's
prior.
going. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah.
that's what I asked them. I was like, well, did you go there early and like scope it out and practice,
Could
skate it
you
a little
even?
bit?
Could you?
Oh, definitely.
It's because it's a skate
always
park. It was at a
Yeah.
skate park, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
In Quakertown, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Okay.
yeah.
How
so
far is that?
An hour?
Little over
more?
an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hour and a half or so.
It's like right before Philly, kind of.
Oh, is it? Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But if we're talking about nice parks, though, there is Charm City.
Okay.
It is in Maryland,
Okay.
right outside Baltimore.
Okay.
There's 2 Charm Cities. I'm talking about the big
Is
one.
this from your DC trip?
No.
No.
I wish. But Charm City is an all indoor park, and as soon as you walk in, you're at a skate shop.
Okay.
Sick.
Sick.
Hell yeah.
In this skate shop, they have a couple of vert inside there.
Okay.
You walk to the next room, they have a ramp that goes down into a foam pit.
That's sick.
Sick.
Nice.
Yeah.
You take a left.
Was it a clean foam pit or was it like a dirty ass
No
foam
foam
pit?
pits are clean.
I know,
no.
but there is like a cleaner. Like I went to Penn Skate. You ever go to Penn Skate?
No, I wish
Some
I did, though.
some people just don't replace their foam ever.
Yeah.
Penn Skate, you would go in and it was so gross.
Yeah, no, you'd go in there and then you'd come out and like you'd have these little foam balls stuck to your shirts everywhere.
And like chip crumbs and like beer cans and like it was like that's what I mean by dirty. Like if you keep garbage out of your foam pit, you're still gonna have like fuzz and foam and shit like that, which is fine. But like you're sweating and you're wet with sweat and everything just sticks to you.
Yep.
So when you come out, first of all, it's like impossible to have a foam pit. Like luckily there's a rope in this foam pit, so it was easy. But if you don't have a rope, dude, it's like so hard. You're dead by the time you get out of that foam pit.
Yeah, you are struggling to get out,
You
especially
are.
if you're like 10, 15 feet into that foam pit.
Oh yeah, like if you go, because I was going in with a BMX bike.
Oh yeah,
so I was going in.
You're
I was
going
coming in
deep.
hot,
Yeah,
and you come in on like a rolling.
And then you got to drag your bike out of there too.
Yeah, so I would just chuck it. I would just chuck it to the side and have someone grab it and get it. Dude, you're dead.
so you weren't trying to land anything. You were just like,
Well, I was doing like 360s and stuff, and I was trying to get the balls up to like try backflips and stuff, but I never did.
right.
But like I'm like 250, so like going into the foam pit, I'm coming in with like some gravity force.
Yeah,
like,
You're sinking down.
yeah. So like trying to get out of that was not fun. Luckily, I had my homie would like throw me the rope, and I would like he'd pull me out. You know? but dude, they're fun. You never been to Penn Skate though?
No.
Dude, they're street spot. Like they're cool though because like obviously like skaters aren't really cool with like I mean maybe now it's better like with BMXers, but there's their own section. So there's like a BMX section. There's a skating section with like the sick mini pipe with like one section is like a spine and then the roller over it. Then there's like a sick street spot.
Yeah, I still don't understand why certain places don't allow BMX.
They think they destroy like especially like plazas, like concrete, like that's a lot of you're pushing down like a lot of force, a lot of weight with like pegs and shit.
And more or less too, like a BMX park, everything's a lot steeper.
Yeah,
a lot
for sure.
bigger.
Transitions wise. Yeah.
Because the roll is different. So like on a board, you need to be able to roll in with both trucks.
Right.
Where on a bike, you could be already halfway down and your back wheel's still up on top. So like it has to kind of flow better. I skated a BMX park before. Awful. I would never do it again.
No.
It's everything's too steep. It's too big.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even like it's not fun.
Like it pops you, like when you go up a quarter, it pops you out the flat.
You have to be going like 15, 20 miles an hour to even get up like a quarter.
Yeah, for sure.
So never again going to BMX.
So this was Charm City. Was it like 4 hours away?
Yeah. We made a random road trip one day.
Worth it.
Woke up at like 7 a.m. Took a 4-hour trip to Charm City.
Have you ever been to Woodward?
No, I wish as well.
It's crazy,
That's
right?
too
It's
expensive
literally
Is
2
it-
hours away.
Is it expensive to get in?
$1,000 a week.
Really?
Yeah. Well, dude, you camp there,
Yeah.
and it's not just like one park. There's like 10.
And that was like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, so it's probably even more money
now.
now. Yeah, like that was the dream when I was a kid.
Yeah.
To be able to go to Woodward, but it's so expensive.
I remember watching. You ever watch Made on MTV?
Yeah.
Where they would like make people into things. The one girl, she wanted to be like a BMX star, and like she got to spend a week in Woodward and shit like that, and she had to do like backflip, like learn how to do a backflip in the foam pit and
Think
shit.
she
like
went
that.
anywhere?
No.
I mean, there was even shows called Camp Woodward.
Oh,
All
really?
about Woodward,
Yeah.
I used to watch that shit like when my grandma had like the fancy box and you get all the high channels like MTV2 and shit.
Yeah, Camp Woodward.
Yeah, Camp Woodward,
That's cool.
Fantasy Factory, that was all on it.
Yeah.
Hammered and Screwed with Chris Haslam would just like make random like skating
Ramps?
features. Yeah, out of just stuff laying around.
Like obstacle, yeah.
It's pretty sick.
That is.
Just one more thing real quick about Charm City.
Yeah, what's up?
So skate park, little vert area.
Okay.
We're going to call it a mega ramp into a foam pit because it was.
Okay.
Scooter and bike park.
Okay.
Or not park, shop. It was
Okay.
all in one building.
That's sick.
You have, I think it was a 25-foot vert that they had there, a mini. 20, not even a mini, I'm just calling it.
Yeah.
25 foot.
A mini.
Yeah.
And only old heads are riding that thing. No one under the age of 40 was on that.
Really?
I swear to God.
I bet. Well, because vert's not really a thing anymore.
There was a ladder you had to get to the top. You couldn't climb stairs.
I would never drop in
Couldn't
on
run
something
up
like that.
it.
Did you drop in on it?
Hell no.
No, fuck. You set your board over something that big. You're like, no way, no way,
Nah.
dude. Even relearning dropping in like a year or so ago when I was
Right.
even like a 6 foot quarter.
Oh, yeah, it's
I was
sketchy.
like, yeah, like I mean, once you like work your way up from smaller, it's just the same motion. Like it's not as scary once you do it, but like that initial drop in, you're just like, no way.
Yeah. I can
Especially when
imagine.
that initial drop in, you like fly backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah,
board
because
just
I mean,
shoots
you,
out.
you put the weight wrong.
Well, like when you like push too far forward and then it just all your momentum is forward, but then the transition kicks you backwards and then you're just on your back, pain angel sliding down. You know?
Just rolling on the ground.
That's
Speaking of the skate parks, there's a new one opening, right?
Yeah.
Oh, where at?
Wilkes-Barre.
Wilkes-Barre.
Oh wait, is that what the whole city was like getting involved with it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This time next year it will be open.
Okay. I see like I don't know. Do you know Plains Bike Shop?
Yeah.
So like I always see them posting stuff on
Yeah.
it.
Kev from Plains Bike is phenomenal
Yeah,
with what
he
he
does so much
for the community.
for anything, skateboarding, biking.
And you were
scootering.
doing, Brandon, you were doing a lot to try to get like people to like petition and stuff like that, right? Yeah.
Like my whole senior project was that in school.
Okay.
Trying to raise money it was for the Nanticoke skate park, but you know,
What year would you
besides the
graduate?
point, 2015.
Okay.
I was
Yeah, so we're
17 when
5
I
years apart.
graduated. So.
Yeah, 2010.
But yeah, no, we went to my friend Bill Borowski. He pulled up newspaper articles from like 15, 20 years ago or so, like when my dad was like, you know, petitioning for skate parks in the area. We went to pretty much every Wednesday council meeting,
Okay.
just talking about a skate park, trying to figure out, you know, why they had free land donated to them and they did nothing with it, why they had money donated to them and it got lost, and they would just keep shutting us down.
For the like specifically for skate parks?
Specifically for skate parks, specifically Nanticoke. And they just kept shutting us down.
They're just grimy.
And you
Using-
had
using the money for other stuff.
like a good like spot picked out, right?
Yeah,
Originally.
over by the Nanticoke Bridge. Now I believe it's a parking lot over there now. But the land was donated to them for a skate park. They had money for a skate park.
Dirty.
And, you know, years go by, nothing happens. More years go by, the money just never existed now, even though there's news articles talking about the grants that they got.
Right.
Dirty.
And the land that they had that they said is unfit for a skate park, which is true. I mean, the area does flood, but you make a concrete skate park, it doesn't matter how much flood and water is on concrete.
Yeah, no.
Did you ever think about like trying to reach out to like that program that Tony Hawk does where he
I've
like
done it.
have you? Yeah.
Yep.
I know he was going around like just like getting like stuff built for.
Yeah. When I was doing my senior project, I reached out to, I sent so many emails. There was a website that you could find. It would show you all the different grants you could apply for.
Right.
Skate parks, local ones. Tony Hawk, of course, was, you know, the number one
Right.
because he does the most for that. But no one ever really got back to me. I'm just a
That's a
16,
shame.
17-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
No.
I mean, that's
No
what
social
everyone
media
is,
following.
you know?
Yeah.
I'm sure that there's just probably a lot of
I mean,
entries.
guaranteed
God,
there's
yeah,
probably
yeah.
millions of entries and
Plus,
stuff
they
like
probably
that.
look at it like, okay, so yeah, these Nanticoke kids need a park, but there's probably like that whole area within 50 miles needs a park. So where's the best area for that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not going to just probably put it in Nanticoke.
Yeah.
They're going to put it in Wilkes-Barre or
And the only reason I ever grinded for Nanticoke to have one is as that's my
hometown. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
The
No, it
best
definitely
place
makes sense.
would be Kingston or Wilkes-Barre to have it.
Yeah, for sure. Bigger town.
But, you know,
Now, if you lived in Nanticoke, is Kingston can you skate to Kingston?
you
Or
could.
walk.
you could, but
But
you
it's
want to
gonna take a
drive,
minute.
right?
We would skate to sorry mom, we would skate to Wilkes-Barre like at like 6:30 in the evening when like there's rush hour traffic
Yeah.
on main roads at the age of 15 years old.
And
like
Nanticoke, I mean, I know like some parts of Nanticoke, but that's mostly like country style roads, right?
oh yeah, it's trash.
Yeah.
So you're just going, you're not going down like a city street. You're going down like
There's
a
some city
45,
streets
55 mile an hour road.
Right.
Their city streets though are like potholes.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's
I
this
mean,
whole
that's-
area.
yeah.
Because it's all side streets really. Like there's a couple main ones.
Okay.
But like all that side streets, they're 25 mile an hour, 35 mile an hour roads, but they're just potholes, or
Right.
they're like potholes that got patched, and then the patches needed patching,
Yeah.
and those patching.
Yeah.
So like they're like lumps up, they're lumps down. It's like there's speed bumps without being speed bumps
Yep.
there.
Yep.
That's got to be scary.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Especially if it's nighttime and you don't
Yeah.
really see it.
Right. Well, that's what I mean by like when you said like, oh, let's build it. Like they would build it in Wilkes-Barre because
Right.
it's like for everybody.
Right.
But I feel like people, if you live in Nanticoke and you don't have transportation, you
Right.
know, you're
Take a
shit out of
bus.
luck. Yeah. Huh?
take a bus.
Yeah, take a bus.
Fuck that.
Throw that park in Kirby Park. It's already a park.
Like
That'd be the best place for it.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. Inside is that Kingston or is that Wilkes-Barre?
That's like it depends on where you're looking
Yeah.
at it.
Where's the park being built?
No idea.
No idea.
No
You
idea.
just know it's being built.
Just know it's being built.
That's all that matters.
I know Tony Brooks made an announcement.
Yeah, I seen. Yeah.
The cool thing was the announcement that he made was a couple days after he had us. There's a little DIY spot that was in the making, kind of in the backwoods. I don't know if you guys know where Barney Farms is.
Nope.
There's a little tennis court that's like kind of deep, not deep in the woods.
Is
but-
this the one you were telling me about then?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. That's the one when I said you had like a spot picked out. Like I remember. Like
yeah. We just had like rails that we had concreted in there.
Okay.
I didn't do a whole too much to this place,
Right.
but it was cool to see it like coming together. It's a
yeah.
DIY spot, and then they shut it down, and the title was like, "A tennis court is no place for skateboarding." Man, no one. There's not even a tennis. Like,
Yeah.
the
Nets.
The net's not even
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
At least
Like,
it's being used for something.
Right.
no one
right.
even knows it's even over here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But the cool thing was, is the article. It was him in that court with like the picture of him there.
Oh, for like
talking about this.
the new skateboard coming out?
Yeah,
Oh, that's sick.
yeah.
That's sick.
After they shut us down and destroy our rails.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. That's awesome.
That's
Dude, DIY skate parks, they come like, you see the ones in like Cali and stuff. Some of them are crazy. Like then the city just lets it happen.
right.
I feel like
Yeah,
that wouldn't happen here.
We had a little personal one that me and my friend Bill Borowski, Brandon Wood, and a few of us others, Hanover section, Nanticoke, there's a little concrete area in the woods. Again, hidden in the woods.
Yeah.
We started like cleaning it up. We did quickcrete to like make the ground a little bit smoother.
Yeah.
Had rails put into it. And then we came back one day and everything was gone.
No shit.
So there's someone out there that has
Someone
a
just
zero rail.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah. That sucks. Was it like did not a lot of people know about this spot? Like, is it hard to find?
It's on the way to Concrete City, if you know where Concrete City is. So
I just think Concrete City. I think of that graffiti highway.
Yep.
graffiti highway.
Oh, yeah.
pretty much the same thing.
That's
it's
your
not
area
there,
That's-
but like that's
Is that the area you're from? Is that Nanticoke?
yeah, that's Hanover section.
Okay.
It's towards that area, right?
Okay.
Yeah, it's like 5 minutes from like.
I got you. I
But
thought that
that's
was
not-
way more south.
Didn't they? Well, that got torn up.
Well,
They like fucked it all up.
Graffiti Highway is.
Yeah.
Concrete City is still like it's the same type of thing. It's an old abandoned city.
Yeah.
That's just graffiti everywhere.
Well,
Silent Hill, right? That's the Silent Hill movie is based.
It's
off
based off of
Yeah.
Centralia, yeah. But that's what I was gonna say. Concrete City is a little bit different because Centralia is still technically on fire.
that. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Underneath.
definitely a little bit more dangerous.
Yeah. I got you.
a little bit.
I've never been there, and I was really when I seen that they like fucking tore it all up and shit like that. I was like,
That's when we went. When we heard it was going to get torn up.
you
Like
went
2015 or
right,
2016.
yeah.
We went down. Yeah.
I seen that. I didn't see that it was going to get torn up. I seen that it was
Yeah.
torn up, and I was like,
I don't know how
Damn, like-
torn up it is though. I think it's only parts of it.
they put like
Dirt on it and
they
stuff.
put a bunch of dirt
Oh, yeah.
and like cement barriers and shit on there.
Dude, it was dope back there. It was
Right.
sick.
It was, and
I always wanted to go there and skate it.
Yeah,
right,
sure.
but that
Because, like,
I
all
think
the
that was
roads were
part of the
lifted up and
problem is
everything.
they didn't want people going there to skate it. So
Yeah.
There was like gaps and shit.
right, yeah,
Sick.
I think they really did it too around like peak COVID times.
yeah. It was like
Right.
it was
Because too many people were going there, and they're like,
Mhm.
we can't have like all these people here at the
Yeah.
same time.
Right,
we gotta
yeah.
destroy this place
Yeah.
for no reason.
Another
No
thing
reason.
COVID destroyed.
Yeah.
blame it on COVID.
Fucking COVID. What else we got? What do you want to talk about?
Well, we're just over an hour now.
Are we really?
Yeah,
Already?
I
I feel
know.
like we didn't talk about shit.
no, we didn't get on nothing.
We're
Well, I
gonna
mean, we
keep
got
going.
on some
We're gonna
things.
keep going.
All right, what are we going?
We're gonna go once I find my notes.
Good talk.
I already went over everything. That is on my list.
Let's end on a favorite Tony Hawk game or favorite skateboarding game. I won't limit it to Tony Hawk because I
There's
know
eras, dude.
Well,
There's
yeah.
eras. of
I don't give a
skateboarding.
shit. Okay,
'Cause
there's an answer.
But when I was 8, I would have picked Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. But when I'm now, it'd be like Skater XLR Sessions. 'cause
Okay,
they're
well,
way
fucking
better.
pick one.
Like I couldn't even play Tony Hawk's Pro Skater because I like playing realistic stuff. Like,
yeah.
I don't like doing like Manny to unrealistic stuff. I like doing like, okay, here's like a 10 set stair rail. I'm gonna try to switch
Why?
nose grind this rail.
Why are you attacking me right now?
I'm attacking you
You're
because
attacking.
it's different. It's not the same because you're that like basic bitch who's like it's a skateboarding game, and I'm like Tony Hawk's is like a kids game where like it's cool. There's achievements, there's stuff like that, but there's also skate sims, which is way different.
How dare him?
Really quick, was Jesus in Tony Hawk Pro Skater?
Fuck
think he was?
yes.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Find
can't
it.
Find it on the internet.
Find it.
Why is it not there?
No.
It's not on the internet.
Really? No
Swear to
shit.
John
God.
and I had this
We had
conversation
a
multiple
a session on his arm, and we were talking about it, and like it's like what's that shit called?
The Christ there.
No, well, not that. Like when like you think something's there and it's not really there.
Oh yeah.
Whatever that effect is, yeah.
yeah.
It literally did not happen.
Yeah. We have the same memory of the
Yeah.
same cloak he was wearing.
Yeah, like a full
He was like a unlock like a secret.
a secret
skater.
character,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And his special is the Christ there,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
100%.
You, go on Google,
You can't find
cannot
it.
Find this.
Yeah, but Glifberg special was also the Christ Air.
I don't give a shit who. I don't even know who that is. But Jesus was in there, and the Slim Jim guy was in Dave Mirra.
He was. Yeah, he was.
You know what I mean?
Does that not come up either? Because that
does. That's
100%.
They can't erase that from history. But Jesus was in Tony Hawk's.
Maybe they're just afraid of hurting people's feelings.
Maybe, but
Very weird to shut it down.
it's
Jesus
weird
was
that
canceled.
we both remember this,
Jesus was
and
canceled.
apparently,
I don't remember what Tony Hawk was from, but that UFO level at the end, the secret level that you would unlock.
Was that Underground? Tony Hawk
No,
Underground?
it was before that. It was either 1, 2, or 3.
I think
It
was,
might have been the first one.
Yeah, I think it was 2. Because
Could've been.
you had to go you had to jump into it, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, Underground was sick though. I remember
That might be my favorite one. That's the white covered background, right?
Yeah. No, that was American Wasteland, right?
American Wasteland.
Underground.
Man, I don't remember. It's
American or Tony Hawk's Underground 2.
What's the one where you had to make a sponsor me tape? Was that Underground?
That was, I think, Skate.
No, it was definitely a Tony Hawk game.
I think that one was American Wasteland.
Was it? Yeah, maybe.
There was definitely a Tony Hawk where you had to make a
At
sponsor
the beginning,
tape.
yeah. Like you started off and you were shitty and you were real bad at everything, and you had to
Did
go
Skate do that
around.
too?
Skate did do that, yeah.
Did they?
Yeah, Skate
Maybe
did
it was
that too.
Skate. I don't know.
And Skate was more about board sales. You had to sell boards and stuff like that.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I think
Skate
Skate
4 on the way.
Skate 1 was you got injured. Remember that beginning Skate clip where it had all the pros skaters and then all of a sudden you do that gap and you get hit by a bus.
Yes.
And then you wake up in the
get hit
hospital.
by a bus.
Yeah, you do. And then you wake up in the hospital like, okay, you get reconstructive surgery. What do you want to look like? And then you create your skater. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't remember it, but I remember at the same time.
Yeah.
I remember getting hit by the
What
bus.
is this? What was Skate 1 for?
PS3, Xbox 360.
It's 3
Yeah.
PS3 times.
Yeah,
Okay.
Xbox 360.
I'm about to go
PS3.
play this game.
Yeah, it's good. It's actually cheap. It's $10. on the
No,
store.
I'm not buying it.
Oh, yeah, you're gonna emulate it.
Fuck that.
No, but
So yeah, what would you say your
favorite
favorite
of
skate
all time?
of all time? Bro, pick one.
I'm gonna let Brandon go because I don't think
He did. Well, sort of.
Is that American Wasteland?
Yeah, but
Or Underground?
Underground.
Yeah. That was the one where you had Bam Margera was in
Yeah.
it and yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, though, Skate 3, just because it holds a sentimental place in my heart.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I played that game for
I don't think I played any of the skates really.
I'm gonna say Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 because that's the most nostalgic. I remember all my friends coming over, sleeping over, playing this all freaking night, being stoked about it. But
Stealing my answer, but he couldn't pick. Remember?
but if I had to, I love playing Skater XL now. Back when I was in high school, it was Skate 2. Because Skate 2, you could literally skate to each spot. It wasn't you had to pick a map and go to a different spot. You can literally skate through town and skate spots while you're skating 2 spots. And that's what I loved about it. But I think now Skater XL is just killing it.
God, yeah. I'm gonna say Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1. Only not even the game.
Okay.
Because I don't think I had the game at first. I think what was it? Something I want to say it was
Had a demo of it?
yes. There was a demo and you could just skate the first level. And that's all I gave a fuck about was the warehouse.
Dude, the music.
And the music, yeah.
Pro Skater.
It played the same song every time and I didn't give a shit because we were just going for high score. Did not matter.
Goldfinger, Superman, all that stuff, dude. It's still in my head to this day. Even when you unlock the secret tapes, like we were talking about before, you'd have a skate vid to watch. Then it would hype me up to skate all the time, and I want to go skate. As soon as I watched the Ronnie Mullins part or whatever, I just want to go skate.
I get it
for sure. That's what we all did. Definitely.
Well, I think that's our time.
That is our time, I guess.
What
We need to
106?
start doing longer when we have guests because I feel like there's.
I mean, we
still
can keep
so
going.
much
I
to
just
talk about.
I didn't know if we
But we all, I don't know.
wanted to keep it at a
Yeah, an
steady
hour.
Part 2
base.
in the future.
We could do part 2.
We can
I'm
do
down-
a part 2.
I'm down for part 2.
Yeah. We were talking about going to a skate park though, the 3 of us or whatever.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, he wants to try his hand in film and shit.
Yeah, I want to take pictures and shit like that and do all that fun stuff. So.
Bloomsburg.
Bloomsburg Skate Park.
Yep.
No, I mean close.
Didn't that shut down?
Today? No.
Oh, you're going today?
No.
I was gonna say, it's a little chilly out there.
Yeah,
No, I mean,
Let's go to Underwood.
yeah, that's what we were talking
Never
about.
go to
Underwood. He's never been there.
I've been to Underwood.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not a fan.
It's when
It's
it's
shitty.
5 minutes. I could see for you it is shitty, but to drive
For us,
45 minutes.
Yeah.
It's right down the road. So if it's raining, just to go fuck around.
Go just
inside,
do something. You know what I mean?
it's
Yeah.
nice. It's-
For you, you're
it's
driving
always
45
vacant.
minutes, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
for that you can go somewhere else.
For
You know what I
sure.
mean?
But Bloomsburg, I thought Bloomsburg Skate Park closed down.
Nah.
Didn't it?
It's all outdoor one.
Yeah. I remember in my WRX, we went down there. I remember because I got a flat tire, but we went down there to find it. It was like probably 2014, and it was like we went there and it was like leveled.
No, it's still there.
Oh no,
yeah,
way.
I was there maybe 2 months ago.
So maybe they built a new one.
Maybe you went to the wrong one.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I don't feel like they just built a new
Is
one.
it the one by the river? Where you at?
No, it was down
In a van
town.
down by the
No,
river?
It was like right in town.
Oh yeah, no.
You went to the wrong place.
Well, no, this was. I mean, we're talking
Unless they,
2014.
yeah, well, I mean, unless they moved it or whatever.
There was
Yeah.
like a Facebook page that had like the pictures of the park and everything and the directions to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Then when we got there, the gates were locked and like everything was like destroyed.
I've seen pictures of Underwood too, and when I get there, it's destroyed.
Yeah, it is for sure.
But no,
yeah,
summertime.
We'll do a part
Yeah,
two.
definitely.
Yeah.
I'm still like, I mean, I'm 30 now, but I'm still like, I still want to skate like I used to skate. I just don't.
Don't skate.
But like to go by myself, like downtown or like,
Right.
like I live in the country, so like I have to literally drive somewhere and then skate, and I don't. Like,
Well, I feel like we were on a good kick for a while until your
hurt
injury.
Yeah,
Yeah.
until I hurt my shoulder. Yeah.
That's the hard part of being older now is you don't want to get hurt.
Well, he didn't get hurt skating.
No.
He got hurt at work.
No, I'm round. I pretty much roll out of everything pretty good.
Yeah.
I fall. Yeah. I
Don't
roll.
have a
I'm
fall.
around.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we were going to Underwood like once a week.
Yeah, once a week we would go.
And we were having fun and stuff like that. And then
Yeah,
he got hurt at work.
Yeah, I dislocated my shoulder and tore my labrum, and I was out for 5 months. So
Yeah, you can't do no skateboarding with a bad shoulder.
no, I was pissed because I was wanting to snowboard too, and I couldn't do that.
Yeah, that's another thing that like I always wanted to put my hand in. Never
Your
got a
feet
chance.
in.
Huh?
Your feet in.
Sure, whatever.
Snowboarding's expensive.
I'll probably put my hands.
Snowboarding
more.
is expensive. Like to go there.
Yeah.
Is like
you were
$100.
telling me.
Especially if you don't have any equipment, you have to
Right.
rent.
And
Crazy.
renting is. Have you ever
His
snowboarded?
ass.
Yep.
But did you rent?
Yep.
How was your experience?
From what I remember, it was pretty flawless. It was just expensive.
Yeah. So when I was also a lot younger. Boards were probably a lot shittier, but when I rented the board, I couldn't barely make it down the mountain. So I was like, I don't want to go snowboarding. But then my buddy was like, I have an extra board. Let's go. Like, you don't have to rent. So I was like, okay. And it was actually like a pro, like Burton board or whatever. And it was like, I was hitting rails on my first day. It was like night and day difference.
Yeah.
Like the flex is different. And I was able to actually go down and not die.
My first time snowboarding, went up to Poconos.
Okay.
I didn't know how it worked. I might have been 14.
Okay.
They put me in the wrong stance.
Oh, you were going down switch?
I was going down regular. Well, yeah,
switch.
switching the switch. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But I stand goofy.
Right.
So I'm like, man, this is so difficult to do. I had no
feels so
idea what
weird.
I was doing because you can't just turn it around because
It's shorter.
It's the way-
The tail is shorter than the
foot
nose.
is
Right.
like bend
Yeah,
differently
because
in
you
the front.
keep your front like everyone
Because
has their
everything is
personality.
locked in, right?
Yeah.
Like your boots are locked in. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you can change the direction of your bindings, but you have to like do it off the board.
Off the board, yeah. Before you like start going down.
Unfortunately,
You can't do
I
it
had
like
no idea about any of
on the
that.
fly. Yeah.
Dude, when I first started snowboarding, like I went to hit my first rail and I went to go kick the board away. Like I went to go pop onto the rail and I went to go kick my board away and like realized it's to my feet and I
You're not
just
kicking that nowhere.
straight to chest, like tacoed over the rail so bad. It was bad. When knocked out of me, just
Gasping for air.
yeah.
That's
It
funny.
Sucked.
Yeah, I definitely want to go try.
Yeah. I mean, I'm down.
I don't want to pay for it though.
Just go get a cheap snowboard. We'll go down.
I have a
to
snow. You could ride my wife's. You're
Yeah,
about the same
probably.
size.
We're about the same height.
Yeah. Probably about the same height.
That's all. That's all that matters, right? It's height.
Yeah. No, I mean it depends. Like I like riding a smaller board because I can control it better.
Control it better. Okay.
Yeah, but you don't want like a
But,
massive.
but that's what I mean. Like the length of it is based on your
that's what you're supposed to
Build,
go.
right?
There's like
Yeah.
it's supposed to be between your chin and your nose.
right.
Yeah.
I got you. But yeah, we'll do a part 2 after
Yeah.
you know all that
you're
fun
gonna eat
stuff.
so much shit
Probably.
snowboarding because like
I
if
will
you don't
die.
if you don't keep your toes or heels up and you're going sideways, you're just eating a face full of sno.
Just drift.
Yeah.
Lift.
Yeah,
and
just
drift.
lift those toes up always. I'm telling you,
drift.
your calves are gonna be on fire. Scotty's on fire.
Scotty's on fire.
We didn't even talk about the Tony Hawk board.
We didn't talk about this. All right. We're still going, so we can still go.
We could keep it to part 2.
All right. So I bought this Tony
We're
Hawk.
going for it.
We're going for it. Fuck. It's here. It's
right,
not going
all
to do anything. I bought this Tony Hawk board at Walmart literally today, and I want Brandon's take on if it's a skatable board, like
Fair.
if it's like decent enough. He's looking at it.
Yeah, you can't even
Yeah.
see it. It's on the floor.
I see metal trucks, so that's already
Yeah.
a plus.
For sure.
But we'll see. All right. Well, off the bat, there's still plastic on the on the
Grip tape?
bolts.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I just ripped it off. I was literally trying to kickflip with the plastic on, and
I'm not sure if this is grip tape or if this is just
Sandpaper.
It's
not
very
even as grippy as sandpaper.
I felt like it was very grippy for my. Well, I'm also wearing like boots, like DVS boots, but it felt very grippy.
All right, so from the top, I'll give it 1+. Most of the bolts are sunken in, which is huge.
Yeah. I'll catch a foot.
Yep. I can't tell you how many layers it has because there's just paint plastered around it.
Solid.
It looks solid.
But it looks like wood, right? It's not particle board, right? Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's definitely wood. The graphic goes hard.
That's what I thought. Like
It's
that shine,
holographic.
it's holographic.
I know.
It has to be good.
Do you see these bearings?
Yeah. That's like, even growing up, like,
I'm going to
Cheap
hit it
boards.
as hard as I could, and
Yeah,
it barely does a rotation.
Do you think it's like more like a beginner board, like something you wouldn't ride around as much as you would just like practice tricks on when you're first getting started?
My take on beginner boards is don't get a beginner board.
yeah.
Just
It's
go right
maple.
for the bat for what you need.
According to this, it's maple.
Look at these bushings. Why are they 2 inches long?
Yeah, they're massive.
They are aluminum trucks, 52 millimeter wheels.
Are these bones bearings, ABEC 7s?
No,
ABEC
they are
ones.
ABEC 1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ABEC 1s.
ABEC
Yeah.
ones.
Okay.
And then pre-black grip tape.
But the thing is,
Pretty black.
the thing I actually heard Tony Hawk talk about this board that he released. The thing is like, this is for the parents who don't know anything about skateboarding, the kids that don't know anything about skateboarding, and not having plastic trucks, having something
Yeah.
to start. This was $30.
Yeah.
That's how much this cost.
For $30, this is definitely good.
Right.
There is another brand out there. I don't know if you guys know Braille Skateboarding.
Braille? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a YouTube channel.
Yep.
Yeah.
They have their own deck like this that they sell in Walmart now.
Okay.
Oh, really?
And it's this whole setup. Okay, so there's like different layers to Walmart boards. You have the plastic truck boards.
Right.
Don't ever get that.
No.
Then you got something like this, and then you got the Braille board where it's like all their stuff. You're looking at like ABAC 3 bearings.
Okay.
They have decent trucks on them. It's actually like maple.
Okay.
The grip tape is good.
This is maple, okay? It fucking says
This
it.
is maple.
Yeah, it does say maple. Right here.
I'll believe that.
It says maple deck.
I mean, for $30, you can't really go wrong. There is no concave in this thing, though.
Please don't mall grab that board.
But no, $30. It's solid.
It's skatable.
It's skatable.
All right.
I mean, like,
It's worth the 30.
yeah.
Don't land in the middle.
yeah. Especially if you're not over 200. If you're over 200, don't land it anywhere on the board.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because
Land bolts are
if you were going to build a board, you'd spend like upwards to like 150, right?
roughly,
Yeah.
yeah.
You can go cheaper. Like, you go blank. It's if you go like pro complete, they're probably like 120 to 150. But you could build like a blank with, not as good, not independent, good trucks or
Right.
Yeah.
stuff like
You
that.
get away with if you went to like just call it zoomies.
Yeah.
Get a deck for 40, 45.
Yeah.
Each truck you could get for about 20, 25 a piece. Looking at $20 wheels. Usually they're a little more expensive, but you get away with 20. And some bearings for $10.
Right.
And then hardware for like 5.
Yeah. But see, we didn't have a Zoomies growing up here. We didn't.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know where you used to buy your boards, but
Walmart, what do you mean?
CCS.
CCS is always where I wanted to, but like trying to like get my parents to.
CCS. What is CCS?
It's a skateboarding magazine. Dude,
Okay.
those were so
Oh, so
sick
you
growing
would
up.
order.
Yeah,
a
it was a
board.
free magazine. It was like a little magazine you'd get. Dude, they had the sickest stuff, the sickest clothes. Like, I remember
When
growing up.
when did you like as you were skateboarding, like coming along? I know you said you started on like a mongoose board or whatever.
Yeah.
When did you start realizing that like, oh, I need to change my like
Long time after.
my equipment? Like I need something like it makes a difference.
It didn't make sense to me why I could buy a $40 board, like a mongoose, or if I'm going to buy $200 worth of equipment, I was like, why would I spend more? It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
It is
Same,
totally not.
they're all the
thing.
same shape.
Right. It was probably like
Right.
maybe when I started doing tricks, like 3-4 years into skateboarding. Again, because I didn't really do much in my first couple years.
Yeah. Did you? Was it like you had like peers around that, and you like played on like tried their board, and you're like, wow, that okay.
Totally different.
Yeah.
The pop was different when you would do literally anything, even riding around. Like I'd have to push. Like if you tried pushing on, like if we were riding down the street now, I had my board that's in my trunk, and you had this. Good luck keeping up.
Yeah, even if
I'm not pushing.
If you were to go put this board on the ground and his board on the ground and not push at all and just stand, he would start rolling. You'd probably not go anywhere.
Yeah, and these wheels, they do feel a little soft.
Power slide.
Just a little bit.
Oh yeah,
They
you're
probably
flying
wouldn't even
spot on
power.
those.
They probably wouldn't even power slide. You'd have to push the hell of it.
Why do they have ridges in them like that?
Grip, bro. Traction.
Yeah.
That lasts for
Yeah.
a day.
Yeah.
I like worn out wheels though. Like I always use wheels like more than one board.
Brandon was the first, like when I first saw his board, it was the first time I ever seen like really small wheels.
Yeah.
He runs those real small wheels.
If we do a part 2, I'll bring in like my board from when I was like a teenager. I have Spitfire wheels that are like literally almost bearings. They're like they're like this long now, and they're down to like nothing.
I'll have to show you the picture I had before
I still have
literally died on my board because of that.
from the rock shop. I still have Brandon's broken board that he gave me that was on the wall.
Oh really? Oh yeah. Where'd you get that board? The girl board?
The girl board was given to me by a client. She just had it. And someone bought it for her, and she didn't really skate.
That's a Mike Carroll.
Yeah, she didn't really skate, and she just had it sitting in her trunk. She told me I could have it to put on the wall because it was around the same time I got Brandon's board.
Okay.
Because I was like, listen, when you break a board, I want both halves. I want to put it on the wall, and it took us. I think it took about a year after like getting tattooed that he finally broke a board and he brought me to pieces.
Or remember to even like bring it to you.
Yeah. Remember to bring it to me, right?
Yeah,
that's
like
true.
bring the board. I'm like, nah.
I mean, he just lands bolts. I don't know what to tell you.
Bolts only.
Bolts only.
Bolts around my back, one or the other.
But yeah, that board I've never skated it. It's always been
board.
It's always been hung.
I mean,
probably.
What size board do you like to skate? Like,
8.25.
Yeah, that's good size.
I did 8s for the longest time.
Probably 7.75.
Yeah, definitely. I did 8s for the longest time just because I was so used to it. Going bigger felt more awkward.
And harder to flip.
What's the
the bigger you go, the harder it is to like.
yeah? So what's the plus in going bigger?
Landing.
Yeah,
more
more
like stability.
More
footing.
real estate for you to.
Yeah.
I got you.
And it just feels better to skate.
It does. Like especially if you have big feet. I don't know what size your feet are, but I got 13s.
He's
so
got
it's
big
like,
fucking feet.
On a 7.75, my heels and my toes were like hanging over the edge. I never understood. Like it was 7.75 when I started skating. That was like the most popular size. Now it's like people ride 9s. Like it's crazy.
I can't go that big.
No.
That's like a fishboard.
8.25. I like it. Sweet spot. It feels good. I love a slow kickflip though, and that's what like makes it way easier. Because like on a 7.75, it would be so hard for me to like kickflip over or off anything because
Would you always
catch it
overspin?
so early.
Yeah,
you'd have to like perfectly catch it super early. Where like with a bigger board, it's like a nice slow flick and it's a nice slow spin. Catch it nice.
That was my cheat code for my first triple kickflip I ever did.
Was a 7.75?
7.75.
Yeah. Nice.
Can't do it on an 8 or bigger.
Dark flip? What was it? What were they called? A double kickflip varial?
Oh, a nightmare flip.
Nightmare flip. Yeah,
those are fun too. But I can do that in 8.25.
Yeah. You get better as you go. The wider boards. Do you like high trucks, low trucks?
Trucks do not matter in my opinion.
No?
Nah. Brands of trucks do not matter in my opinion. I ride Thunder.
Okay.
More or less because I like their colors.
Dude, they were sick. I remember like this black and gold Thunder set of trucks I saw. Dude, they were so sick.
but they get like torn up real.
Yeah. You run through trucks pretty quick.
I used to break kingpins all the time, but I was always heavier, so that's why. But I would always snap kingpins.
That's one thing about this board too in front of us is that
The kingpins
actually like
lined up.
even.
Yeah.
With that.
Yeah.
That's a little scary.
It's a little sketchy.
You wanted that a little lower.
What's that? Like, look at these bushings.
I know, they're massive.
huge.
Listen, he's a vert skater. Okay, it's definitely made for vert.
No,
don't
wheel
think-
size does matter though.
Yeah, wheel size. What size wheels you run?
I like
52s?
51s.
51s?
They're hard
Okay.
to find,
Yeah.
but I like smaller wheels.
Okay.
Why though?
I don't know. I literally couldn't tell you why. I've had big wheels.
In my
before.
head, like it's just like getting things out of the way, kind of like.
I don't know. Like bigger wheels. Like I'm not a heavy dude, so like it's not like I'm getting,
Wheel bite?
flat spot. Yeah,
Yeah.
wheel bite,
Yeah.
flat spotting. But,
Are you specific on where you skate though? Because obviously people will run bigger wheels like for cracks and stuff like that. So like, do you make
technically, no,
sure?
bigger should be more for me because I'm street.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
I
so-
never liked my board really high off the ground though. Like I never
Yeah,
liked it high
same
off the
way.
ground. I always liked it closer to the ground.
I guess the wheels would make the difference there.
Yeah. I never ran risers. I always just ran truck and then like a 52 wheel.
Yep, that's the way to go with it.
Disgusting.
The bolts are on tight.
Do a kickflip.
Are they tight?
They flip on it.
Do a kickflip.
Do a kickflip. All right, we're gonna call it there because we're at 120.
I like it.
We'll
We'll do a part 2.
we will do a part
I feel
two.
like there's a lot of stuff we didn't talk about.
We'll bring Brandon back.
For sure.
Hopefully during the summer ish time. Or if we run out of guests, we'll just keep recycling
I think
them.
we already did.
Yeah, Brandon will be on the next episode. We'll just be the third guy.
Definitely. We'll get some footage and throw it on the YouTube page too.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot some footage of Brandon doing a kickflip on this Tony Hawk board.
Can we do no, this is gonna be your daughter's, right? I can't break it.
No, you can't break it. I am gonna give it to her for Christmas.
I have a board in my car.
Yeah.
2 boards.
No, that's not the fucking point.
I was gonna bring 2
You got to
boards,
do a
my 2 boards,
kickflip
too.
on this one.
I've bought a board just to kind of mess around with it from Walmart. It was actually a Peralta one.
Was it?
Yeah.
No shit.
Really?
And
There was another brand at Walmart. I think it was the same price. I think it was less than this one. I didn't really look into it, but
Kryptonics.
maybe.
oh,
Kryptonics.
do not do
Don't do Kryptonics.
That is disgusting.
I was like, oh, Tony Hawk, he's got to know what he's doing, right?
I used to get my boards from Dick's Sporting Goods. They had like a like a skateboard
Yeah.
section,
Nice.
and like they would have like it was called.
That's why I love going to Zoomies and just looking at
Yeah,
the
but
board.
we never had Zoomies here. We
I
didn't
know,
have
no.
anything.
Yeah.
Like we didn't have skate shops.
I went to, when I was like 18, and this is when I like first joined the carnival, we went to a spot in like Norristown, and they had an Army Navy store.
Okay,
And inside the Army Navy store, they had a whole fucking skate shop.
that's sick.
Right. And I was like, oh my God,
Yeah,
this is the
that's sick.
coolest thing ever.
Hell yeah.
I
It's
was
like hidden gems like that.
right.
Yeah.
And I was just,
No one would
is
even know
this
it's there.
is this normal? Like,
Yeah.
am I not aware of this? And then anytime I'm in a skate shop, I just love like looking and browsing the boards and shit like that.
For sure. I even like now that I'm older, I would love to like now that I'm buying a house, just like all my favorite boards, like try to find my older favorite
Right.
boards of my favorite skaters growing up and hang them up.
Hang them up.
Started
Yeah.
that.
Did you?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I only have 2.
With the shoestring?
But no. There's actually a company that makes
Hangers.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
sick.
yeah.
Yeah.
They like bolt onto the truck where the trucks go, right?
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to do for a while. I wanted to buy blank decks and just like paint them and hang them and shit
That'd be
like
sick,
that.
too.
Because I love like the art of just like the way boards like
Yeah.
look. So
Hell yeah.
I just never got around to it because I'm lazy as fuck.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But all right, we're gonna call it there. I appreciate y'all for listening. Make sure you hit that little bell so you get notifications.
Sure.
I want to thank Brandon for coming in.
Thank
Our
you
first
for
guest
inviting me.
won't be our last,
Hopefully.
hopefully. And we'll see you next time.
Later.
Peace.